Hey everybody, it's Gary from Ginyu Talk, and I've got an amazing special interview for you guys. As you guys can already see, we have Linda sitting next to me, who is the voice of Frieza. Linda, how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Glad to meet you in person.
Yes, I know. Indeed, just likewise, because I know when we initially discussed so during around COVID time, we had a couple of interviews. And I think there was one interview where we said, "Oh, are you ever coming to the UK? It'll be nice to see you." And I know you said to me like, "Oh yeah, no, I hope to come back. I hope to actually come to the UK and actually meet you guys." And here we are.
That's
You
right.
know, yeah, fate works in many mysterious ways, right?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. So, like, having spoken a few times, I think what I wanted to ask you initially is when you kind of look back on the work that you've done as Frieza itself, just specifically the one that you've done, what would you say was your favorite quote to actually say within the show for Frieza?
My favorite, it's so hard for me to have favorites because I like so many quotes. Um, my husband's favorite quote is "Pop goes the weasel."
That's actually my favorite one because I actually had it listed as something for the Frieza pendulum that I had to assign for the quote. It was gonna be Pop goes the weasel. So just you telling me Pop goes the weasel is your favorite one is
Well,
absolutely.
my husband's favorite. But I don't have a favorite. So, I mean, my husband, that's his favorite. He doesn't even hardly know the show, but he just likes the way the line sounds. And I don't really have a favorite because there's so many. I do like, you have all the power levels of a Boy Scout troop. I kind of like that. I mean, I like so many lines. And of course, everybody likes the monkey lines. They're always asking me to call them monkeys.
I'm not surprised. I think because obviously like it is one of it's one of Frieza's most iconic lines, just basically
Yes.
calling Saiyans monkeys, and
Yes.
and just you telling me that a lot of people like just constantly ask you to say it. Do you get any requests to sign just saying the monkey?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. All different, all the monkey lines. All different ones, all the time. And sometimes people are shy to say it, and I go, "You want a monkey line, right?" And they're like, "Ooh, yeah."
No, and it's really exciting. And I think, like I said, it is Dragon Ball is kind of is really made a lot of people's childhoods, especially like your take as the original is basically the original Frieza. I know there's other dubs that were done for it, but like originally when people talk about the Frieza saga itself, it is your voice that we actually remember, especially just you like even when you as you did Pop Goes the Weasel when you killed Krillin, it's just like I remember I remember as a child I was like, I do not like this character, I hate this character. Is it like do you get a lot of people tell you that about like how they didn't like Frieza?
They'll say some will say they hated me, then they started liking me, or some will say they loved to hate me, and some people just said they were scared of me and hated me because what I did to Goku and all different comments. But I mean, a villain, if you love to hate them, that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
A villain to be hated is means you're doing a good job, right?
Yeah. Indeed, and then I think so. What would you say in terms of like when I know when kind of opportunities do present themselves. I know you obviously you look at them in terms of like the role itself, in terms of what kind of story you're telling itself. So would you say like would you if you had two good roles that were one for a good person and one for a bad person. They're both really compelling to you. Which one would you mostly like to go for?
Well, I mean, I loved voicing Frieza, and I voiced other villains, and it's really a lot of fun. But then voicing Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho, who is good but still has that sassy attitude, and that's kind of the perfect combination right there.
Yeah, so you prefer more the balance where it's not just outright good, but not outright bad, but a little bit of a blend where you can see something between the characters where it becomes more subjective for you in terms of your interpretation for it. Yeah.
And yeah, because there's so much more to a character like that. Where Frieza is all about Frieza, that's what Frieza is. But that's fun too. It really is. Of course, I love Frieza. I mean, I loved voicing Frieza. I never knew that the Frieza I voiced would be so popular or that I scared so many people, or people think my voice was so evil, and that they love my laugh and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of, I don't know. It blew me away.
Yeah, it was absolutely great. And then I know, as you mentioned, Genkai itself, like, that's another iconic character. It's, along with the theme song itself, you do think of Genkai and her motivational ways of showing love, not the compassionate love of just giving you the hug. It's tough love, if you will.
Yes.
And I think, I know there's always constant talk within news cycles that they may reanimate it and and
Yes,
and
we
and,
hear
and
that.
everything. Would you, if they did do it, would you be open to reprising your role as Genkai?
Oh, definitely. Because a lot of people that were in the show, they go, "Oh, like I'm so much older now. I hope they'd still ask me to voice it." I go, "I'm not even quite as old as Genkai yet, so I'm okay." I need to have voiced older, even when I wasn't, because I, if I had to do the voice again, of course I can. I would love to do the voice again. I guess it would depend if who actually would do the redub. If it was some not Crunchyroll, they'd probably ask other people.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was Crunchyroll, I hope they'd ask all the original, because
Well,
everyone would want to come back. We all love that show.
you heard it here, Crunchyroll. If you do the dub, you better bring back the originals. And then just finally, Linda, what would, in terms of like when you look back on Frieza and Genkai, in terms of characters, what messages from both would you want people to take from both characters?
Um, from Frieza, you can be small but powerful. From Genkai, the same thing. When you think about it, Genkai was small and powerful too. So they have something in common. And they both are sassy. And they both are sarcastic. So they do have a little bit in common.
Excellent.
And now I've just finished voicing a new part, another mentor. It's called Once Upon a Witch's Death.
Yes, I see. Yes,
Yeah. So another mentor, and she's very stern, and um she's a little sassy too. It's different. I mean, I get these characters sometimes that really love um their students or whoever, but they show it in a different way.
Yeah.
They get the best out of them is what they do.
Yes. So it almost feels like if you want a character to get the best out of another character, call Linda. She'll find a way to get the best out of that character. And then just finally, you're in the UK, you're here for the Oxford Card Show. Are you excited? What are you looking forward to the most?
Probably meeting everyone. That's probably what I look forward to the most. Oh, and I was also going to say Frieza got the best out of Goku. When you think about it, or he wouldn't have gone to his most powerful form. Yep, Goku, right? He wouldn't have. Everyone always tells me that they like Frieza because Frieza brought out the best in Goku.
Yes. Brought out one of the most iconic forms in history. And I think, with that said, thank you so much, Linda. And I really do hope you enjoyed the Oxford Card Show. It is absolutely amazing to finally meet you in the UK. Something that, like I said, we basically willed it into existence on our first conversation that we had. And many years later, here we are actually meeting each other. And like I said, I would like to thank you in person for obviously making my childhood, bringing a character to life that I grew up hating, but also voicing an amazing character who I actually loved, who in Genkai, in terms of that motivation and that training, always inspiring us to be better. So like I said, there is a lot that you've done for a lot of people with your work, and I really hope that you continue to do more amazing work, and so the next generation can be like, Linda, you did this character was great. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. Ooh.